Now, a second example on signal detection is that one of the objectives is to provide recommendations of signal detection. So we will synthesize finding and outcome from other sub-projects, but we have been requested or advised by the external advisory group to do a database survey in a first step. So we have started this survey, and the scope is, first of all, Vigilance, which is the database of adverse direct reactions at the European level, which is managed by the EMA, and there are several million ADRs, and we received about 60,000 new ADRs per month. VGBase is the database managed by the Uppsala Monitoring Center, which is a collaborating center from WHO. And this database has a scope on, is a worldwide database, which is a huge database. We also look at national data set to see how these database differ from other types of database. And we look also at company data sets, AstraZeneca, Bayer, Genzyme, GSK for the moment. So we look at not only the number of reports and the type of information that is included, but also how this information is analyzed by each of these partners, what are the methods, the statistical methods that are being used, and possibly what are the weaknesses of some methods and how we could better harmonize or provide recommendations on the use of these methods for signal detection. Now, signal evaluation, this is also a very huge project. The objectives are to develop, test, and disseminate methodological standards for the design, conduct, and analysis of pharmacoepidemiological studies applicable to different safety issues and using different data sources. So what we would like to do is to promote standard recommendations for essential methodological parameters for the conduct of pharmacoepidemiological studies. So this is a bit what I mentioned regarding clinical trials. We probably will not have some legal framework for pharmacoepidemiological studies, but we think it's possible to really raise the methodological standards. We would like also to build an appropriate infrastructure and research tools to rapidly address any urgent safety issues arising in the EU. We will disseminate guidelines regarding national drug utilization data and how this data could be used in order to assess the public health impact of safety signals. And also we will test all these methods in a wide range of data sources. As I told you, we have a range of database covering about 45 million individuals in the EU. And so we will facilitate the evaluation of safety issues in different population groups. We have 3 working groups, and in one of the working groups, we intend to conduct 5 adverse drug event pair studies in different EU databases. So in this database that I mentioned to you, so we have selected 5 key issues that are already known for some drugs, based on defined criteria, and one of these criteria is public health impact. We are currently developing study protocols, and we will implement these protocols in this database, and we will look at the differences in results. And in some kind of iterative way, we will try to really identify what are the sources of the variability in the results of the safety studies. So we started with an initial list of 55 safety issues and 55 drugs, and we have selected these 5 issues: hip fracture and antidepressant, acute liver injury and antibiotics, myocardial infarction and beta-2 agonist, suicide and antiepileptics, and cancer and calcium channel blockers. So these issues actually cover a range of methodological aspects, methodological issues, long-term effects, short effect, different types of drug. And we are now preparing a manuscript that will be published on the on the selection and on the rationale for choosing these 5 drug event pairs. Another example of what we're doing now is working on the use of national drug utilization data. So we have started an inventory of data source on drug utilization data for several European countries, and perhaps more importantly, we are going to disseminate methodologies for drug utilization studies, and in order to estimate the potential public health impact of adverse drug reactions. Now, another work package concerned the benefit-risk integration and representation. This has been a bit slower to start because there are a lot of methodological problems, and there was no consensus among all the partners on how to start this project. The objective is to assess and test methodologies for the benefit-risk assessment of medicines and to develop tools for the visualization of benefits and risk of medicine products. So we would like to provide a clear understanding of how to balance benefits and risks and highlight how the data should be used and how to value the judgment needed in this process. We would like that this, if there is an understanding of the same framework for benefit-risk assessment, this could have the potential to shorten the delays in decision-making about the licensing of medicines. Importantly, we would like to take into account the perspectives of patients, healthcare prescribers, regulatory agencies, and drug manufacturers into account and see how these different perspectives may impact the result of the benefit-risk assessment. We will so allow continuous benefit-risk evaluation from post-approval to the life cycle of the products, and especially a visual representation. And we think that this visual representation could be kind of tool that could be published on a website, and that could be maintained and regularly updated according to the data that are made available from clinical trials and from safety data source. So we are still at the start of this project on benefit-risk integration and representation, but we are now in the first stage, which is a review of the methodologies and seeing what is the difference between the different technologies and which one could be used or could be tested.